not installing the wireless smoke detectors. That's some of the latest technology. You hear your detector going off, which was triggered by the one that's actually in the room. What a great addition in a house that you can't go in and wire them together. Now through the nature of technology and engineering, wireless. One in a billion is now stop function.
Yeah, it's gonna go.
Our friends from Troy are going to let that fire burn for a minute to get an idea of just how big they'll actually and how fast they'll grow.
He's in the way.
Oh yeah.
Now, even though the fire department is here and in position, in reality, they would still be donning their gear at the station, counting on the apparatus. They're just beginning to leave the station en route to the facility.
There, okay. 3 minutes, I think I said.
Yeah.
Wow. Why is it?
Look at this.
Yeah.
That's 2.5 minutes from the time of ignition. Just 2.5 minutes. Again, the fire department may just be in the street en route to the facility. The other good lesson to learn from this, and all that smoke is now billowing out into the corridor. And everybody else in here, if they are not on fire, have to make their way through that to get to the exit.
Now you know why fire safety is so important in a residence hall. My name is Dave Reddick. I'm the Safety Compliance Officer for Student Programs, and I'm going to take a few minutes to talk with you about what you can do as a staff member to keep the residence hall safe. I'm going to talk about general tips, then we're going to talk about fire drills, and then what you need to know to look for on your floors. Now I'm going to take you through some of the violations we find in a normal room. Some of the violations we'll find in a student room may be tapestries or curtains. The Virginia State Fire Code does not allow for any curtains, tapestries, banners, or any type of hangings to be on the residence hall walls that are not fire-resistant material. If you'll notice, these curtains that a lot of people like to use are normal bed sheets, or you may have a tapestry of your favorite team, including the Hokies. But unless it has a label saying that it is a fire-rated material, you cannot have it hanging on your wall. You cannot take this material and spray it with a material because that requires field testing, and we're not able to do that here at Virginia Tech either. The next thing I want to talk about are other wall hangings and decorations. You may love the Collegiate Times or your favorite band or sports teams, but here at Virginia Tech, according to the fire safety codes, you may only have 10% of your wall covered in such decorations. Here at Virginia Tech, we do not allow anything to be hung from the ceilings. Now you may think that 10% is not very much, but once you look around your room, you have the wall space that is covered by your desk, your beds, your dressers, your refrigerators. Actually, you can have up 2 or 3, maybe even 4 posters, which will be just fine and not have a problem with the fire codes. Now I want to talk about some of the decorations that are and are not allowed in the residence hall rooms. This type of lamp with a multi-shades is perfectly fine, but one thing we want to point out that is really important is to make sure that the bulb wattage matches the shade. You can see inside one of the shades, it's going to tell you that this particular lamp should not use more than 60-watt bulbs. People who put in larger bulbs can cause the shade to melt that can lead to a fire, which has happened in the past few years in some schools up in the New England states. We certainly don't want that here at Virginia Tech. The next thing I want to talk to you about are candles. As you can see, this candle has never been burnt, so it's perfectly fine as a piece of decoration at Virginia Tech. However, the burning candle, or a candle that has a wick that has been burnt, is a violation, and you may not have it in the residence halls. So even though people say, well, I haven't burned that, I don't use that, if the wick has been burned, if they want to keep it, they're going to have to cut that wick off down to the base so it cannot be lit. Along that same line, though, is we have the candle warmers. You can see you have the flavored or the scented wax, which is very nice to have in the rooms, but there is no wick to be burnt. You can set it on the warmer to get that nice scent. Those are perfectly fine. Next items are various appliances that students like to bring to college. Anything that has an open heating element, a toaster oven, a toaster, a hot pot that separates to have the open exposed coil, are not permitted. Microwaves are fine, but we really don't want students cooking in the rooms any more than just perhaps the microwave to get the popcorn or maybe some soup or something. So like I say, any type of appliance with an open heating element is not permitted. Next thing we have a problem with, and we find quite often, are extension cords. Here at Virginia Tech, we do not allow any type of extension cord to be used in the residence hall rooms, whether it be these lightweight little cords with the multi-plug ends or the heavy-duty, industrial use cords with only the single plug-in. We just simply do not allow extension cords to be used in the residence halls. We also are very cautious about the various types of multi-plugs that are used in the residence halls. Any type of multi-plug device has to have a built-in circuit breaker. Now, devices are built differently. This one happens to have a separate on-off switch as well as a reset button. Some of the multi-plug devices will just simply have a single switch, but it will say on and reset. Contrary to popular belief, surge protectors and multi-plug devices are not necessarily the same thing. A surge protector protects your equipment from a power surge coming in from the outlet. The multi-plug device that we require with a built-in circuit breaker actually protects the building currents. When you plug in too much stuff into this unit, it trips your circuit breaker here. It doesn't trip the circuit breaker down the hall. So a multi-plug device with a built-in circuit breaker is what's required. The next thing I want to talk about are daisy chains. Basically, a daisy chain is when you have one multi-plug device plugged into another multi-plug device. When you do this, you may void the warranty, the UL listing of both devices and anything that is plugged into them. I know here at Virginia Tech, the outlets are not always where you need them to decorate and to set up your room. But these multi-plug devices can be purchased with various lengths of cord, anything from 3 feet to 25 feet. You can find these devices at just about any of your local hardware stores. Another item we see, which is of concern, is as people decorate their rooms, they'll run the power cord under the carpet. Now, having your internet cable or a phone line, something like that, under the carpet is not a problem. But with your power cords, as you walk across it, you will actually rub the insulation of the power cord. This can cause a breakdown of the insulation. It can cause the item to short out, the device to short out, and it can also cause a fire because eventually, as you break down the insulation, you're exposing the wire, which can be a fire safety violation.